Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Jenny.
And we're here to present our TBR for...
March? The March Trope-ical Readathon.
2022.
Yeah, 2022.
Alright, so there's a lot of books to go through, and we mostly have no idea what we're talking about, so we'll just be quickly kind of going over the books that we're planning for each trope.
Yep.
Alright, so the first trope is the absent dead parents trope.
Or a book with more than one author.
I'm
doing all the tropes.
Yeah, so...
Are you doing all the tropes?
Not quite. So Jenny likes really doing all the tropes and going hard like that. I give myself some leeway, and so I think I've actually managed to do all but one of the tropes. Okay. There was one of the books I just really wanted to read and fit it in somehow.
Okay.
All right. So absent dead parents or
more than one author.
More than one author.
So the book I'm reading is The Violent Season by Sarah Walters. And this is some sketch thing where every November, the people in some town maybe start killing each other. I don't really know. They start being super violent. And it says that Wyatt Green's mother was brutally murdered last fall. So that counts.
I'll be reading Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi. I have it on audiobook, so I do not have it right here. But maybe it will be magically right here. I've been meaning to read it for a while. We'll hopefully finally get to it.
Cool. The next trope is love triangle, or
I should bring this list up then. Your friends choose. Sorry. Oh yeah, you see it over there.
Yeah.
Or friends choose. So to have a friend or people online pick between two books. So I will be reading The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So this is the follow-up to
The Inheritance Games.
Thank you. The Inheritance Games, which Jenny assures me has a love triangle in it.
Yeah. And it didn't upset me, even though I hate love triangles. I was okay with it.
That's good.
I'm going to be reading The Wondrous and the Wicked by Paige Morgan. This is the third book in, I think it's called the Dispossessed series. It's about gargoyles. It's like a paranormal romance series with gargoyles, and there's been a love triangle brewing since book 1, so I think it's still going to be in this one.
All right. The next trope is bookish themes.
Or a predicted 5-star read. Is this the alternate?
Yes, I think this is the one that's the alternate, but the problem is that I've skipped one based on my ordering, because apparently these orderings are different.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is the one where I wasn't going to do the trope, because I just kind of wanted to fit this into my TBR, so it's Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So this is, to me, the alternate prompt, the expected 5-star reading.
I'm going to be reading The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And this is something that I've heard a lot about, and it's constantly everywhere on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know what it's about, but it's called The Midnight Library, so I assume it has bookish themes. Do you know anything about it?
Is it not well enough to actually say anything about it? I feel like maybe he finds like a book that's...
There's books on the cover.
I don't know if I'm confusing with something else.
It says library in the title, so...
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we should go by this ordering, because I feel like this is the ordering that your books are in too.
Yeah, but what? Why are you in a different order?
Mine's a copy and pasted from last year, and that's what happened. Maybe, and then I edited it. Yeah, probably. Alright. So maybe we should go to Found Family.
You just want to start over, or?
Do you want to start over? No, I think it's
okay.
Fine. Found Family.
Sure.
Or a book in the series.
Yeah.
So for this one, I was going to read another audiobook, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, which I've heard a lot of very good things about, so I'm very excited about that.
I'm reading The Black Flamingo by Jean Atta, and I think it's going to be Found Family. It's about like a gay boy who finds like identity in drag, I think. Yeah, so it sounds like a Found Family kind of book.
All right, the next trope is food themed.
Or a meaty book, 500 pages or more.
Yeah. So for my food themed book, I'm gonna try to read Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala, which might have been on my TBR last time. I'm not very good at actually getting through my TBR. I think I only read about 8 books or so, but I'm very excited by this one.
I read it last.
You read it? You really liked it?
Last round, I read it. I don't think so.
You don't
I think I
you
maybe
really...
rated a 3.5 or 4, maybe.
Okay.
It's kind of repetitive. And I'm reading My Fine Fellow by Janika Cohen. I didn't even know this was food themes until I was looking for a book for this prompt, and Rob found a stack of books on my TBR and just kept picking them up and being like, this one's also food themed, and this one too, and this one. So this is food themed. It even says a delicious entanglement underneath it.
Wink,
it's
wink.
about something with food. No idea.
Yep. That's how much we know. We look into the books when we decide to read them, but then we forget.
Yeah.
All right. The next trope is A Blast from the Past.
Or a book published before 2000.
All right. And so the book I've picked is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. So another book that I've been meaning to read for a while, and hopefully I'll get to.
And he's an author that we had for our book.
Yeah, the old book a couple rounds ago, I think.
For Mystery Horrid.
Yeah, The Mongrels, which is a good book.
And I'm doing Horrid by Katrina Leno. I think this is Blast from the Past. It's about this young woman and this like teenage girl maybe, and her mom moving back to her mom's old town. So it sounds like it's going to be a blast from the past in that thing. But it's also a horror novel, which is why the cover's super creepy.
Yes. And I think we talked about this one last time because of the great first line.
Oh yeah, the first line, if you remember from last time, is she couldn't remember the first book she had eaten. Bookish names. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe it works for that too. All right, the next one is Mixed Media.
Mm-hmm. Or an audiobook or ebook.
Yeah, so I guess I'm already planning to listen to a bunch of audiobooks or ebooks. But my choice for Mixed Media is The Devolution, a first-hand account of the Rainier Sasquatch Massacre by Max Brooks. It's actually fiction. It's not actually about the Rainier Sasquatch Massacre. But yeah, so it's one of these books that kind of I think involves like journal entries and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. It seems like a pretty exciting book. He's the author who wrote World War Z, which I really enjoyed.
And I'm reading The Dating Plan by Sarah Desai, which I just panicked and was like, I don't think this is mixed media, but I remember now. You started flipping through this and you saw a bunch of text messages.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I finally.
Yeah, there's one like at least at the beginning of every chapter or something. I think you said.
Yeah, I'm like almost like this is a text message I've seen.
Right. Next trope is post-apocalyptic.
Or what is it?
Or
a comfort read.
So my choice for that is The Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. So another kind of book that I've been meaning to read for a while. I tried to actually put a bunch of books I've been meaning to read on my TBR, so maybe I'll actually stick to it this time. But this I think happens kind of like in California after something bad has happened. But again, I don't remember very well, but kind of classic of like sci-fi.
I am reading The Last Star by Rick Yancey, which is I think the third book in the Fifth Wave series. Wait. It says the final book, but I think it's also the third book.
It's the Fifth Wave trilogy, it says the Mac.
Oh, sweet. I read the first two already. I listened to them on audiobook, I think I physically read the first and listened to the second on audiobook.
Right.
And so I'm looking forward to finally finishing a series because I'm really bad at finishing series that I've started. But yeah, it's about kind of like an alien apocalypse type of story.
Mm-hmm. All right, the next one is Platonic Partnership, or a buddy read.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We are both reading the Victoria Schwab books. I guess you read this one.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it. And you told me that it's about a girl and her platonic partner who is a ghost.
Yeah, her best friend is a ghost, and they're a partnership in traveling to like the ghost realm. So that's the first book in the series, and I've already read this one, so I'm reading the second book in the series, which is Tunnel of Bones. And it's MG, so it should be quick.
All right. The next one is Morally Grey Antihero, or a book.
Or a previously DNF'd book.
So I'm going to listen to another audiobook, which is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Again, very excited by this. I think there's currently like a collection of people on the internet who are like reading this as a group, and I thought about joining that, and then I've only read like 3 books so far this year, so.
Oh, I thought you said you read 3 sentences of the book and then stopped.
No, I just haven't even really read books, so.
I'm reading Loki, Where Mischief Lies by Mackenzie Lee. This is a book that we bought a long time ago, and it's been on my TBR forever, and I've been avoiding it, but I'm trying to finally get rid of it. It's the only thing that I could think of that I have that satisfies this prompt, and it's about Loki, so definitely morally gray anti-hero type of character.
Yeah, kind of the epitome almost. Next trope is multiple POV.
Or multiple POC, so multiple characters of color.
Yeah, so I'm going to be reading Homegoing by Yajazi. I read Transcendent Kingdom by Yajazi before and really, really like that. So I'm very much looking forward to this one, which is about, I think you were telling me it was 2 sisters?
I don't remember.
Or 2
I was
siblings
telling you something.
Yeah. You like the 2 half-sisters, Effia and Essie. They're born in different villages, but then I think they move, and anyways it follows generation after generation, so kind of different right, so it's first 2 sisters but then also different generations, and so there's different points of view as you go along.
Cool. I'm reading How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days by K.M. Jackson. I got this from Book of the Month, as you can see, and I've been wanting to read it for a while. It's been in the living room on another book cart to remind me to read it, and I haven't touched it. But it's about this woman who is like secretly in love with Keanu Reeves and then finds out that he's engaged to be married, so she goes on a road trip with her friend to try and stop him.
Like you do.
Yeah, but then I think her and her friend end up falling for each other instead, as you could probably predict.
It's a romance novel.
Yeah.
Any 2 people are together for any prolonged amount of time.
Yeah.
It's like the twist is, no, they don't end up together.
Yeah.
The next one is the New Kid in Town.
Or a new genre, a genre that you don't really read.
Yeah. So I am planning on trying to start off finally the series by the Samantha Shannon, so the Bone season. I really like the Priory of the Orange Tree, and so I've been meaning to read another Samantha Shannon book for a long time. I've been trying to finish out other series that I'd started before starting a 7-book series that is only 4 books in.
7?
Well, it's only 4 books that are out, but it is like I think a planned 7-book series, and so. But yeah, I'm very excited about this one.
Funny story about this book. Last Christmas? Not the one that just happened, but in 2020, in the 2020 Christmas, I bought the first 2 books for him, and my sister asked me what she should get him for Christmas, and I said, you can get him the 3rd book from this series, like I'm getting him the first 2, and she totally misread what I said and got him the first 2, so he ended up with 2 pairs of both of the first 2 books.
Yeah, we managed to return them.
Yeah.
But
what was that for?
New Kid in Town.
Okay, so then I'm reading this one, right? This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. And we had Cinderella's Dead as one of the teen books by Kaylin Bayron back in the day. And this is about a girl who has the power to like bloom things, kind of like the other book that we read.
The Beasts and Briars? Among the Beasts and Briars? Yeah,
Among the Beasts and Briars. And her aunt dies and leaves her house to the family, and so the family moves to the house. And they're hoping that this will like be good for her because she can't really control her power. So it does sound like a New Kid in Town type of deal.
All right. The next trope is retelling.
Or a book with a TV or movie adaptation.
All right. So I plan to hopefully finally read The Changeling by Victor Lavalley. I've read several of his books and really enjoyed all of them, so I'm always excited to read a new one, but it often takes me a while to actually get there. So this is a retelling of like a fairy tale that I didn't actually know about.
But it's called The Changeling also, right?
Yeah, the fairy tale is called The Changeling, and so like when I looked it up, it's like, oh, it's a retelling of what? And then it's like The Changeling. So But yeah, excited about this.
I have two options for this that I can't really figure out. So first is The Last of August by Brittany Caballero. This is the third book in the retellings of the Sherlock Holmes. So I've read the first two, right? No, is this the second book?
I think it's the second book.
This is the second book, I think. And I read the first, which is called A Study in Charlotte, because it's about Charlotte Holmes, who's a relative of Sherlock Holmes. So there's that. Yes. Oh yeah, so this is the second book. And then the other option I have is A Spindle Splintered by Alex E. Harrow. And this is a retelling of maybe Sleeping Beauty. But the main reason that I've been leaning towards this one is because it's super short. And I have a lot of books to read on this TBR, so
it's got an awesome cover.
The shorter the better. It does have an awesome cover.
All right. That is the final general trope. And so now we will go to the team tropes, and we have different teams. Did you want to start?
Okay, I'm Team Romance, and the two team challenges for me are Siblings Best Friend or Best Friend Sibling, and Workplace Romance. So for Siblings Best Friend or Best Friends Sibling, I don't have a book for that, but the two choices that I have are The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot. It's the one that the movie's based off of, so I already know that has best friend sibling trope in it.
As long as the movie didn't change too much.
Yeah. Or My Conan Only by Susanna Nix. I have no idea what it's about, but it must be great because it has a food pun in the title.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's the way books work. The first trope for the team sci-fi.
I didn't go to my other one, but okay.
You didn't. Well, you looked at
away.
me. You looked at me as if it was my turn.
Take it away.
You can keep going.
Okay. For Workplace Romance, I have two options again because I really want to read both of these. So the first one is The X Talk, which is about these two people who are radio show hosts, and one of them gets the idea that they should have exes come on and give relationship advice as one of their, things. What are they called on radios? One of those things.
Gimmicks.
Yeah. But then the boss decides that, these two coworkers who don't like each other should just fake being exes. So it's a workplace romance there.
Fake ex dating.
And the other one is called Faker, which is hilarious. And this one is about a woman who works for a power tool company, and she gets paired up with a guy that she hates that works with her. So it's another hate to love workplace romance.
Classic.
Oh, Faker by Sarah Smith. Sorry, I forgot to say Sarah Smith. And The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Actually, right. Take it away.
Okay, I will take it away. The two team tropes for Team Sci-Fi, I'm on Team Sci-Fi, are cyberpunk and space opera. So they're kind of like genres of sci-fi. For the cyberpunk genre, I am again listening to an audiobook, and it's Want by Cindy Pon. So this is a YA cyberpunk novel. So I've never actually listened to or read a YA cyberpunk. So I'm kind of excited to check that one out. It seems pretty good. And then the space opera book is From the Light of Heaven by Tate Thompson. So again, I don't know much about this book, but Goodreads tells me it's a space opera book. So that'll do it. It seems pretty exciting. I really liked. I guess one of his books was also
Rosewater.
Yeah, Rosewater.
Last round, maybe.
Maybe last round. I really like Tate Thompson. I've read kind of everything that I could from him so far. So this came out kind of recently, and I'm pretty excited to read it.
Yeah, he was also super excited because he realized that he really loves Tate Thompson, but had never actually bought one of the books.
Yeah, he has this really cool novella called The Murders of Molly Southbourne, which is that it's this woman, Molly Southbourne, who whenever she bleeds, her blood spawns clones of herself that then want to kill her. It's a very interesting premise. But that was just Tor was just giving it out for free in their newsletter, and then I think I every other book of his I'd just got from the library or something. It's oh, but I really like him. I should buy one of his books. And so I did.
Sweet.
Yeah. Now the
okay, so that's it for our challenges. We're also going to read the team books, or try to read the team books. Mm-hmm. So the first team, let's see.
Romance.
Team Romance.
Yeah. So
so the options are the new book, which is A Brush with Love by Maisie Eddings,
yep.
or
Or this is kind of an epic love story by Case and Calendar. So this is a book that I read recently, and so I will not be reading this for the. But
I'll probably be reading both. To be honest, I can't choose between the two.
That's what Jenny does.
Yeah.
Okay. Team Sci-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
The new book is How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. And so I'd really like to read this one. I think I might plan to read this one first.
And then the old book is The Sound of Stars by Alicia Dow.
Yeah.
And I think this is the one I'm going to go for because it's a YA. So it'll probably, it's a YA.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be faster for me to read, and I have a lot of books to get through.
For
Team Fantasy,
the new book is The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. I'm not really sure which one. I mean, maybe you can.
The old book is Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. I'm currently reading this one to write down the the trigger warnings or content warnings on our book trigger warnings website. So then I'm going to be reading that one for the readathon.
Yeah, and I'm not sure which one I want to read because they both look really interesting to me. So we'll see. It'll be a mood thing.
Just like an eye on the back.
There's
an eye on the front, but it's on something. Like this one's just an eye.
All right. For a mystery horror thriller, the new book is The Verifiers by Jane Peck, which comes out on Tuesday, so we don't have it yet.
And then the old book is The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. I think The Verifiers are supposed to come out this week, right? And then or last week.
So like when we first looked it up, when we first planned for it, it was supposed to come out February 8th, I think. But now Goodreads says February 22nd. And so does Amazon. I don't think it's out yet.
Okay, let's hope it doesn't get pushed back anymore if it even got pushed back the first time.
Yeah, so I think I was probably going to try to read this one this week. So I'll probably read the Verifiers.
And I'll probably also read the Verifiers because I think, again, that is... Wait, is that adult?
Yeah, it's adult. This is the YA.
Oh, okay, I might read this one. But I feel like the Verifiers has a cool cover, which has me intrigued.
Cool cover. It also has a cool kind of premise.
Maybe I'll just read both of them. Again. Is that the robot one?
Sounds like you.
No.
Verifiers? No, it's the one where she's like an online detective. For
and then she breaks protocol. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Contemporary literary historical fiction. The new book is Olga Dies Dreaming by I forget Xochitl, right?
Yes.
Xochitl Gonzalez. And then
the old book is The Weight of Our Sky by Hannah Alcaf.
Yeah, I'm really excited by both these. You just read this.
I just read this again to write down the trigger warnings. But it actually has trigger warnings at the front provided by the author. So that's cool. This is from the library, and it's kind of funny because it's clear that somebody owned this before. There's random underlines, but only at the beginning, and I don't really understand what they were trying to underline. But yeah, I really like this. I think I rated it 5 stars.
Yeah.
And so I have to read that one because I just read this one.
Yeah, and so I was already really excited to read this one. And then you really liked it, and so I'm even more excited. But I'm also excited to read this one. So I don't know. Maybe it'll depend how it goes. I mean, if I read one of the two, maybe I'll read that one because it looks kind of like a quicker one to read, and I only have so many books I can read in a month.
And then the last team is Team Nonfiction Poetry.
Yeah. And so the new book is coming out March 1st. So we don't have it yet. It's called The Invisible Kingdom, Reimagining the Cycle of Illness.
Chronic. Sorry.
Oh.
He's reading my writing.
Yeah. Reimagining Chronic Illness. Sorry, it looked like cycle. By Megan O'Rourke.
And then the old book is Apple Skin to the Core by Eric Gansworth. And I am going to start reading this week. Tomorrow probably. Mm-hmm. So again, to do the trigger and content warning. So I'll be doing The Invisible Kingdom for the readathon. I don't know which one you'll be doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They both seem pretty interesting to me. And so again, it'll probably just be a game time decision.
Cool.
Right. I think
that's it. Yeah. So let us know, I guess, if you feel like saying anything in the comments. Let us know if you have any inputs on our TBRs, if you think they're complete trash or the golden standard of all reading and we're the best readers in the world. And if you have your own TBR to share with us, you can do that before March 6th.
I think so, the Sunday.
The first Sunday of the readathon to get entered into the TBR giveaway, which Again, if you enter, let us know what your username is and tag us in this in some way. So you can either tag our Twitter or Instagram, or DM us, or email us, or tag Trope-ical Readathon, or tag Trope-ical TBR, or any mixture of that, so that we can see it and enter you into the giveaway.
Yep. All right. Thank you for listening to us if you're still here. And good reading.